Hey everyone, today's video is going to be about multiplying polynomials. So we've already discussed adding, now we're going to move into multiplying. And I've got these steps written for you and we're just going to dive right into examples because that's the easiest way to explain it. The first step is to distribute or FOIL, then we will combine like terms and then write our answer in standard form. And so what that's going to look like, when we FOIL, remember that is if we have A plus B times C plus D, we multiply the first, the outside, the inside, and the last. But whenever we have more than two terms, we are going to think of this more as distributing each individual term. Okay, so we're going to have W times W squared. That is W to the third power. Then we will have W times 2W, that is 2W squared, and W times 1 is W. Then we will distribute the -7 to everything. So -7 times W squared is -7W squared. -7 times 2W is -14W. And -7 times +1 is -7. Now that we have done that, this looks just like the addition and subtraction problems that we've already done, and we're just going to combine like terms. So this has 3, this has 2, 1, 2, 1, and constant. So I'll start with the 3. We have W to the third. And we have 2W squared minus 7W squared. That gives us -5W squared. And then W minus 14W is -13W. And then we have -7 left on the end. So W cubed minus 5W squared minus 13W minus 7. And that's already in standard form because whenever I did these underlines, I went from the greatest exponent to the smallest so I could save a step. Number 8 looks a little more complex. So there are 4 things being multiplied together here. And what we are going to do with those is take only 2 at a time. Now this 3 does not go to everything. It just goes to the first one. So we take 2 things at a time. We're going to multiply -3 times A plus 5. Everything else is just going to come straight down. So -3 times A is -3A. -3 times 5 is -15. And this has to stay in parentheses because the product of these gets multiplied by all of this. Okay, so we can't take that out of parentheses. The whole thing gets multiplied by the rest of it. So we'll bring down our A minus 2 and our A plus 8. And now we're going to multiply these 2 together. And honestly, you can do this in any order. You can pick any 2, but you just have to do only 2 at a time. You cannot do, you can't multiply 3 things in one step. So we're going to FOIL the first 2 binomials. -3A times A is -3A squared. -3A times 2 is +6A. -15 times A is -15A, and -15 times -2 is +30. Remember, all this stays in parentheses because it still has to be multiplied by A plus 8. But before I do that, I'm going to combine like terms. So I have one less term to distribute. And we've got -3A squared minus 9A plus 30 times A plus 8. Now, remember that when we have a binomial times a trinomial or whatever, however big they get, you multiply each term in the one by every term in the other. Personally, I think it's easier to look at the binomial as the one that we're distributing. So just to make it easier on your eyes, I'm going to put the binomial first. So we're just going to swap the order of these. And I'm actually going to move this. Okay, so that we have more room. So the first thing we're going to do is distribute the a to all three of the other terms. So a times negative 3a squared is negative 3a to the third. A times negative 9a is negative 9a squared. And a times 30 is 30a. Then we're going to distribute the 8. 8 times negative 3a squared is negative 24a squared. 8 times negative 9a is negative 72a. And 8 times 30 is positive 240. So now we've done all the multiplication that there is to do. We just need to combine like terms. So we have 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, constant. So negative 3a cubed. And then we have negative 9 minus 24. That's going to give us negative 33a squared. Then we have 30a minus 72a. That gives us negative 42a. And then we bring down our constant of 240. And this is your final answer in standard form. The last example I'm going to do with you is this trinomial times a trinomial. And I'm doing this one with you. I think you could do it yourself, but I want to show you a little bit different way to organize this that might make your life a little bit easier. So we're going to take it a piece at a time, and we're just going to multiply the 3m squared by everything in the other trinomials. So pretend this isn't even here for a minute. 3m squared times 2m squared is 6m to the fourth. And then we're going to get plus 15m to the third, and then distribute and get negative 27m squared. Okay, so we took care of the 3, or the 3m squared. So now we want to distribute the negative 4m. So negative 4m times 2m squared is going to give us negative 8m cubed. So instead of writing this all out to the side, I'm going to find where I have another m cubed, and I'm going to write that below it. So we have negative 4m times 2m squared, and that gives us negative 8m cubed. Then we have negative 20m squared. So I'm going to put that below the other m squared. And then we have positive 36m. And we don't have a plain old m yet. So we distributed the negative 4m to all three of the other terms. So now we just need to take care of the positive 1. And remember that when you distribute a positive 1, it doesn't change anything. So we're just going to write this down. So the 2m squared, I'm going to put with the other m squareds. So plus 2m squared plus 5m minus 9. And when you write it like this, you can just add them all together straight down. So we have 6m to the fourth. 15 minus 8 is 7m to the third. Negative 27 minus 20 is negative 47. Plus 2 is negative 45m squared. And then we'll get plus 41m minus 9. And all that did is, instead of having a big, long thing that you have to organize, we just organized it as we went into columns. And then we combined like terms. So this is your final answer, and it is in standard form. I have put on the answer sheet the formula for number 12. So if you're not sure what the area of a trapezoid is, first of all, that's really common on the ACT, so try to memorize it if you still have to take the ACT. And then second of all, it's listed on the answers so that you can get it for yourself. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.